Elon Musk has just broken another barrier. This time, he has made something that could send everyone to Mars. Has this new invention defied all the physics laws? But why are researchers so against it? Join us today to find out all about this insane invention. Musk and NASA's collaboration. Elon Musk is not new to defying the previous theories, and when we talk about Elon Musk, he's not just a man of words, he proves it with his actions. This time too, Musk went a step ahead to make something the world has never seen before, something so unique that it defies the laws of physics. Elon Musk and NASA have developed a light-speed engine that is faster than anything people have ever seen in the aerospace industry. They partnered to work to achieve the shared ambition of studying every inch of space. For this exploration, they successfully tested a new engine that has turned their dreams into reality. But what is so special about this engine? There are a lot of opinions about the Lightspeed engine. One of them is the problem with space travel. Elon Musk has long wanted to send people to Mars. In fact, he wants everyone to travel to Mars by 2050. Considering Musk's dedication and motivation to achieve this goal, NASA has been working with them to make this happen. But the concept of space travel is not easy to execute, especially when traveling to Mars. It's the fourth planet in our solar system, which has an average of 140 miles of distance from the Earth. It would take a rocket moving 15,000 miles per hour for at least 7 months to get there. Rockets today use methane as their primary fuel. They do not use kerosene anymore. Therefore, to make a successful trip, they pre-make the methane and load it onto the rockets before it leaves the Earth. This is where the real problem begins. A rocket that consumes around 11,000 pounds of fuel per second needs a lot of fuel to complete the trip. This comes into account when creating a rocket to take on such a dangerous mission, because designing spacecraft requires a balance between the weight of the craft. It also needs to reduce the use of fuel as much as possible. No matter which spacecraft we look at, the components of every craft's weight are designated to hold fuel and supplies. It leaves only a small section for the astronauts. The spacecraft is around 20 meters above the ground and can withstand a thrust of around 500,000 pounds. It's because of its 33 Raptor engine. Although this engine is specifically designed to be effective and efficient, it cannot carry enough fuel to take a trip to Mars. This is the reason why the missions to Mars so far were all robotic missions. They were carried in a lighter rocket, since no astronaut joined the robots in the mission. There was no need for all the extra fuel and supplies, till now. If they plan to safely insert the aerobraking into the Mars orbit, it will require additional fuel to add to an already heavy vehicle. Also, it will increase the cost. Every market guru such as Elon Musk accept that there is a bumpy road ahead, and this journey would be dangerous. They would defiantly need an alternative to go to Mars. Otherwise, all of Musk's hard work will go in vain. It goes without saying that necessity is the mother of all inventions, and this necessity made Elon Musk and NASA collaborate and come up with a new engine. The potential of a new engine. Scientists have made all the ordinary rockets from Newton's third law of motion. It states that the action and reaction forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. This theory plays out in the Falcon 9 space shuttle and in the current Starship in production. They all use thrusters to happen. For thrust to happen, they use fuel like methane and mix it with the oxygen in a combustion shaper. The hot exhaust then gashes steam and water. Then they channel the water through a nozzle to speed up the liftoff. But this light-speed engine tends to do something different. According to the laws the researchers have set for the agents, they will only travel without propellants. According to the principles of space relativity, objects gain mass as they approach light speed. The idea behind the engine is to combine it in the loops and accelerate it to moderate the speed. On the side, they also vary their velocity enough to change their mass. The engine will move the ions in the back and forth direction. It will produce the thrust they need to complete the mission. The engine will also change to a helical shape, like a stretched out string. It will have no moving parts except the ions trapped inside the electric and magnetic fields. The Lightspeed engine uses an electromagnetic drive to get the thrust without a propellant. It is a contradictory propulsion system. David Goodman was the first person who described in detail that if the vibration from the electromagnetic or ions can be channeled in one direction, it can give enough force to send any rocket much faster. It can send the rocket not just faster, but farther into space than any other propulsion system ever used. It can also easily create an effective propulsion system that can achieve speeds of a fraction of 1% of the speed of light. But this idea of creating propulsion without a propellant is an old one. The propulsion mechanism. Goodwin in 1990 led a NASA propulsion physics project aiming to make a propulsion mechanism. That mechanism did not need a propellant. Roger Scheuer in 2001 used this phenomenon to display how they can work with the idea of the reactionless drive. If all of the above is true, and the new light engine has so much potential, why are the scientists against it? Problems with the new engine. Scientists from around the world have always displayed how electromagnetic propulsions would work. The critics still say that it is too early to celebrate. It still needs to be made clear how they would apply the propulsion. After all, they did not do any of the earlier tasks in the vacuum, so there's no confirmation of its practical application. For some, you cannot ionize particles in a quantum vacuum, therefore you cannot generate energy. If these studies measure a tiny effect on the device, it could easily lead to measurement errors and uncertainties. Before the project leaves the ground, we would have to consider running costs too. To analyze this process would require a lot of research, which will cost a lot of money. NASA has already given $5 million into it, and we still need to find out how much more money would be needed to perfect research. Also, achieving momentum in rocketry without a catalyst like this engine attempts to do is not just against Newton's third law, but also the law of conversion of momentum. The law of conversion of momentum says that the momentum of an object remains constant if there is no external force acting upon it. This concept is so long established in physics, and it does not seem likely that this new engine will pass the boundaries of established physics. The same physics apply to all forms of motion in the known universe. It's also not sure if the rocket would be able to survive the meteorite ordeal. A meteorite approaches the Earth's atmosphere at 120,000 miles per second. When it comes near the air particles in the Earth's atmosphere, it burns furiously before reaching the ground. As we all know, meteorites are a type of rock that is hard enough to survive entry into the Earth. But can a rocket with an EM drive handle the same impact? Is this new engine successful? If this special equipment travels at the speed of light, it could burn on return, which is an undesirable outcome. If this new rocket does not plan on using the thrusters, it cannot execute a successful landing on Mars. The atmosphere of Mars is very dense, so that it can burn the rocket upon entry. So this spacecraft should have a proper propulsion system to avoid that. One of the teams, a team from Dresden University led by Martian, displayed a significant flaw in the Lightspeed engine. The test showed that the thrust might not be coming from the EM drive, but from other electromagnetic interactions. The researchers have also claimed to see some of the unidentified errors missing by the other studies. It is shown that creating a practical Lightspeed engine may not be challenging. However, NASA has kept all these criticisms in mind. It is still working on the funding to give the best results possible. They have examined an EM drive under conditions similar to what you can find in deep space. These tests display a thrust-to-power ratio of 1:4, greater than any calculated estimate for the drive. It gives more possibility to discuss the space. With all that being said, this is not the first time Musk has received massive criticism because of his innovation. Be it a Cybertruck or a Tesla bot, criticism has become a part of his life. But Musk knows how to combat these. There's no denying that NASA and Musk will have to work with every ounce of creativity to bring this equipment to reality. With Musk's ingenious mind and NASA's passion, do you think the combined effort will soon reveal a new Lightspeed engine that will defy all the laws? Write yes or no in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications turned on. And in case you want to watch more fascinating videos, click the video on the screen now.